Hi everybody, welcome back. So I recently put up a Q4 makeup purchases check-in video, and in that video I said that I wanted to do a full face of makeup with the best and worst makeup purchases that I have bought this year. So that is what I'm doing today. That is why I am makeup free. So I've gone through the list of all the makeup that I've bought this year, laid it all out on my dressing table, and then I've split it into the makeup that I have really enjoyed, I've been really impressed with, and the makeup that I've not been that impressed with. I'll be honest, there's only 3 pieces of makeup that I haven't been that impressed with, so I think that is pretty good going considering that I have bought quite a bit of makeup this year. Being underwhelmed, not that impressed with only 3 bits of makeup, that's pretty good going. So, and I do actually have quite a few bits of makeup that have really impressed me, so this video might be a little bit long, so let's just zoom you in and I'll get started on my makeup. So this makeup isn't necessarily new releases, so some of the bits are, but some bits have been around a little bit longer. The first one that's been around a little bit longer is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. If you're a regular, you know that I absolutely adore this product. Such a beautiful primer, really hydrating, my makeup kind of glides on over the top, lasts for a really decent amount of time as well, and the smell is just incredible. Since trying this product, and I think I tried it a couple of years ago, I think I tried it when I first started my channel, I've loved it ever since. It's been a favourite of mine, it's been a holy grail of mine, so much so that I have 2 full-sized unopened backups of this in my collection because I got a great deal on it on Black Friday, and I just adore this primer. I've just colour corrected with the Bobbi Brown stick corrector. I've scooped out the rest of it into this little tub, and you get quite a lot of product left over, so if you have that, definitely scrape it out. The best foundation-like product that I have tried this year comes from Sculpted by Amy. This is the HydraTint Moisturising Tinted Serum SPF 20, and I've got mine in the shade 2. I think the biggest difference for me this year in my makeup routine has been a move away from foundations to skin tints and more lightweight BB creams, CC creams, those kind of products. Now I know that has been the trend this year. We've very much kind of been into that natural clean girl makeup, which has seen a big kind of spike in popularity of skin tints, but I think that's also just coincided as well with the fact that I'm getting older. I'm well into my 30s now, and my skin is a lot drier than it ever has been. And I just find that foundations are too heavy on my skin, they're too obvious, they sometimes kind of highlight texture, they don't sink in nicely, they move about, and a skin tint just provides that hydration and that moisture that my skin really needs, and it gives a really nice healthy glow as well, which is something that I feel like I'm lacking in my skin now that I'm getting that kind of that little bit older. And this one by Sculpted by Amy is so beautiful. It's really hydrating, lightweight coverage. Not so great on days like today though, where I have some breakouts going on. I would typically go in with a heavier foundation, but you know, I'm filming this video so I do want to show you my favourites. But it still just makes your skin look like... where did my voice go then? It still makes your skin look like skin, instead of being like really obviously covered with makeup, and it's just really easy to work with as well. Blends in beautifully, doesn't feel like it sits on top of your skin, just kind of sinks in, seamless finish, nice healthy glow, just a really lovely product. Yes, my breakouts are coming through underneath, but with this type of product it will, but that's what your concealer is for. Speaking of which, I'll just pop some concealer on now. This is my Vive concealer. I didn't buy this year though, but it is still a really good concealer. Just popping this on my many blemishes that I've got at the moment. So onto one of the first worst makeup products that I have tried this year, and I'm a little bit conflicted with this one because I do still like it, but there's an aspect of it that I really don't like. So I bought the set of 4 of the tinted Rhode peptide lip tints, and so yeah, you get a set of 4 of them, and I've noticed with some of them the texture is completely smooth, but with some of them the texture is really grainy, and this one in the shade Toast is really grainy. Now what I like about these is that they're easy to pop on, not messy, you just squeeze it from the tube. The colour of this is a really neutral, warmish, light pink, so it suits me. But it's a bit grainy. There's little bits of like what feels like grit. It's not grit. I'm not sure what is going on with the formulation, but quite a few people have mentioned that with these lip tints, and it's weird that some of them have that texture and some of them don't. So that's where I'm torn with it, because I like the application, I like the colour, I like how it, apart from the graininess, how it feels. It does feel really nice and hydrating, but when you rub your lips together, the graininess is there, and it's lots of little like fine bits of grain that it feels like. So I'm not very impressed with that, and the fact that the graininess is happening in the shade that I like the most puts me off buying it again. Whilst that concealer sits, I'm just going to put some of this Merit brow gel in the shade Blonde through my brows. I spoke about this in my Q4 makeup purchases video. I bought the full set of the Merit makeup, and I tried this one for the first time yesterday, and when I first popped it on I was like, is there any difference? But it's really subtle, it's really natural, gives a really natural effect to the brows. They're not overloaded with product, it's a nice sort of like fine dispersion of tint, and the Blonde suits my brows really well. I don't feel like this is hugely obvious that I've got product on in my brows. I really like this product so far. So this isn't part of today's video, but I did just want to highlight the fact that I have tried this, and these are my thoughts on the second time of using it. What is weird with this though is that you would expect this bit to be the brush because it's the smaller part, but no, it's not. The longer part is the brush. So that's my only kind of like, huh, with this product. So the next product is arguably one of my favourite new products that I have tried this year. I am incredibly impressed with this. This is the Revolution Ultra Cream Bronzer in the shade Light. You can see that mine is well loved. It's a little bit messy and I've got a big pan going on in this now. This is an incredible cream bronzer. It is so beautiful. I work some onto the back of my hand and then just pat it onto the skin. This is quite pigmented though, so don't like swirl loads on your brush and then apply it straight onto your face, because you will end up with a lot of bronzer. Work it onto the back of your hand with the brush and then pat on. And I just love how this doesn't look muddy or dirty. It's a really beautiful warm bronzer. It gives a lovely sort of dewiness, plumpness to my skin. Really easy to work with as well, so I feel like it's beginner friendly. So if you've not yet dabbled into the world of cream bronzers or cream blushes, this is the one that I would go for. And I was highly debating whether to try the Chanel cream bronzer, because that one obviously is hugely hyped, it's loved by so many people, but it's very expensive. And I heard that this was a good, cheaper alternative, so I thought, well, let's spend a few quid first and see if I like a cream bronzer first of all. And I'm so impressed. Out of curiosity, I do still want to try the Chanel one, but this one is gorgeous. This is one that I would definitely come back to. This one was discounted and was around about £5 or something, but I think even at full price it's like £7, £8, I think. I'm not sure if the price has been increased since I bought it, but I love this one. I love how easy it is to use, I love the colour, and I love how beautifully like plump and bronzed it makes my face look. I want to say a notable mention to these two blushes. This is the Vive Sunset Blush Balm in the shade Pesca, which is a liquid blusher, and then this one is the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable, I think, Nearly Apricot Melting Blush. These are part of my project pan, and I think I've shown these quite a bit on my channel, so that's why I didn't really want to kind of mention them too much again in today's video, because I want to talk about makeup that I don't usually talk about perhaps. But these two are beautiful. Like I say, they're both in my project pan, and I mix them together and use them as like a 2-in-1 blusher. So beautiful, lovely warm peachy apricot shades, pleasure to work with, and again they leave like a really nice plump, dewy, glowy look to the skin. Just going to set my T-zone and under my eyes with a bit of powder. And I'm then just going to put a bit of MAC Paint Pot and Paisley on my eyelids and set it with a bit of powder before I talk about the next product. I bought a few Victoria Beckham eyeliners recently, but the one that I really love is the shade Bronze. It's such a gorgeous green gold khaki kind of colour. It's got a little bit of brown in there, so I'm assuming that's why they called it bronze. But this is great for a really nice kind of easy smoky eye. So I'm just drawing a bit along the upper lash line and then taking the rubber, the blender on the other side, and just gently kind of blending over that and bringing it up a little bit. These are really creamy, so you can manipulate them quite well. They are expensive though, but they are really lovely quality and you get a really decent selection of shades. I also bought them in the shades Cinnamon and what's the other one that I got? Cinnamon, Bronze, Copper, that was it. I'm not particularly good with eyeliner, but the fact that these are so creamy, you kind of barely have to touch your eyelid and you've deposited some colour, so they are really easy to work with. And I like to go in with a couple of coats of the eyeliner just to make sure that I've got like that level of pigment that I want, because although they are really creamy, sometimes you can blend them a little bit too much. So just going in with the second layer, and that will help with longevity as well. Just going to run some of that under my lower lash line as well. Some people have commented that these are difficult to sharpen, but I got the sharpener with it, so I think as long as you buy that sharpener, they're fine, because I don't experience any issues with sharpening these. I don't really view eyeliner to be a part of a quick and easy makeup routine for me, but with an eyeliner like this, those Victoria Beckham ones, because they are so quick and easy to kind of blend out and you can be a bit messy with them, you can get a bit of a smudged look, I would include one of those if I wanted a really quick and easy makeup look in the morning. So I have a best and worst for mascara. The best is this Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I got this as part of a Boots star gift. It was a Bobbi Brown collection, so you had the face base, a lip gloss, a dual ended shadow stick and a mascara, and I really like this mascara. I like how it separates all your individual lashes, coats them all really finely, but really defines them as well, so I can see why it's called smoky. It's not clumpy or heavy or a really wet mascara. This is one of those mascaras that you can use straight away and get a really good effect. With some mascaras you have to wait quite a while for them to kind of like dry up before they're any good, but with this one I didn't need to give it that time. This was really good straight out of the bat, and it's not messy. With some mascaras, and this is probably me, but I can be really messy applying them, but with this one I don't feel like it's smudging a lot or moving. It just so beautifully defines every single lash. My issue with this though is that I don't think it's tubing. Now I haven't worn this mascara only on its own, so I can't say whether this smudges, and also this is black. I would prefer this to be in a brown. If this did come in a brown, I would buy this one again. But I just really like the effect of that mascara. I think it's so lovely. This is such a surprise hit. I only bought that Boots Star gift because I wanted the face base, but this, it's such a lovely surprise to come across a product that I hadn't tried before. To be honest, didn't really have any interest in trying, but I now really enjoy. I really do love this mascara. I think it's so lovely. But then a mascara that I am not that keen on, that I'm not that impressed with, is the Yves Saint Laurent Lash Clash mascara. I really like the colour of this though. This is brown, and this is a really good brown. This is probably the best brown I've come across in a mascara because it's like a true warm brown. Sometimes the browns are verging on being like a black brown. They're really dark, but this is a really lovely colour. But what I don't like about this is that this smudges a lot. I can put this on and honestly about half an hour later my mascara has smudged. This is pretty good to work with now, but I have had this open for about 4 months, I would guess. This is the mascara that has taken the longest to dry up, the longest to kind of get to a point where it's nice and easy to work with. but for the longest time this was really wet, it was really messy, it was really heavy. I think I put up a video about having like a full face of natural kind of makeup, and I put this mascara on and it was so wet and heavy that it really weighed down my lashes and just didn't look nice at all. I can get much more of a natural look now, but it very easily and quickly goes clumpy and heavy, and it's getting to that stage now. So I now need to leave this, because if I put another layer on it's gonna look pretty bad. And Yves Saint Laurent, it's not a cheap brand, and although I got this on discount, I mean, it's me, I always get things on discount, it was still really expensive, and much more expensive than I would be willing to pay again. If this lasted, if this didn't smudge, if this wasn't messy, if this was a lot easier to work with right straight away like the Bobbi Brown one, I would buy again. But it's just so difficult to work with. Like I say, it's a lot better now, but it's taken a lot to get to this stage. But layered together I quite kind of like the effect, but I wouldn't buy this one again. This one I've been quite unimpressed with. Back to best products, and it's this palette from Hourglass. This is one of the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palettes. I got mine in the leopard exterior and also interior, and this is just, oh, it is stunning. Look at that. So incredibly beautiful. I was definitely influenced by this one. I had no intentions of buying this, but it was all over my social media feeds and I succumbed. And I'd never really tried much of Hourglass products at all, especially their powder, so I really just wanted to kind of give it a go. So I'm going to apply a little bit of everything in this palette. I'm going to start off with the bronzer. The bronzer is Lustrous Bronze Light. You have a lovely big mirror as well. And I went for this one because this was the middle shade out of the three that they did. The lightest one was the Jellyfish one, which was the one that was recommended for fair to light skin tones, which I have. But after looking at all of the shades, it appeared to be a little bit too cool toned, and I watched so many videos comparing all of those. And although I'm fair light, I'm not cool toned, and I feel like that's still a misconception. If you have fair or light skin tone, you're automatically cool toned. You're not, you can be warm toned. So I looked at the leopard one. I mean, immediately the colours of the leopard print one were my favourite anyway, and it looked like it really worked on fair and light skin tones. It didn't look too heavy and too dark, so I did decide to go for this one. I did also email Hourglass and explain to them the situation and which one should I go for. Even saying I am very warm, they still said Jellyfish, which I find a little bit peculiar. I'm not sure. Now the Jellyfish one might well have worked, I don't know, but I am really happy with this one, which is the leopard print one. And that bronzer, really beautiful, really nice and easy to build up, not hugely obvious, and just really easy to work with. Blusher, what blusher do I want to use? You have three blushes in here. Whoa, that one, and that one. The shades are, so Mood Exposure is this one, which I think is a shade that they always have, and then the other two are Iridescent Rose and Ethereal Flush. You know what, I think I'm going to do a little bit of Mood Exposure, because this is meant to be a bit of a good wintry shade. My battery just died. Hopefully the setup is pretty similar. But yeah, these powders, oh, they're just so easy to work with. They're not chalky. They blend out really beautifully. It's just a bit of a pleasure to work with, this palette. I'm so incredibly impressed with it. I can see why these are popular every single year. I'm just going to dip into both of the other blushes and just add a little bit more onto my cheeks. I am on camera, so I do need a bit more makeup. Going to use a bit of Celestial Strobe Light for highlighter. Pop a little bit of that in my inner corners as well, and just a bit under the brow bone. Just going to set my face because we've only got a couple more products to talk about. Next favourite this year has been my little mini Hourglass ambient lighting powder. I've got mine in the shade Diffused Light. This is a really beautiful finishing powder. It just gives a bit of like life and glow back into your makeup, because sometimes when you've done your makeup it can appear a little bit flat, and this just helps to give that bit of glow and radiance into the skin. There is also a shade of this in that palette that I just showed. They are different shades though. I think this one is possibly a slightly better shade for me, but the other one still works fine. And there we go. The effect is really subtle, but it just gives that little bit of like life back into my face, which I really like. It just makes my face look like normal skin, I suppose, with makeup on over the top, but really easy to use. I do really enjoy this new powder. I think it's so lovely. I can definitely see why Hourglass powders are some of the best powders out there. Right, let's finish up with more lip products. I have bought so many lip products this year. Doesn't surprise me because I am definitely a lip makeup type of person, and now that I know what my colour season is, I have kind of experimented this year with a lot of makeup, especially lip products, to find the best types of shades for me. However, I'm going to start off with another worst product. This is from Clinique. This is the Black Honey Almost Lipstick. I wanted a berry colour for the winter. Berry colours are very synonymous with wintry makeup, and this one kind of caught my attention because yes, it was really hyped up, it was a really viral product this year, but because it also adapts to your skin tone somehow to give you the right kind of colour for you. However, now that I'm really used to warm lip colours, putting on something like this, which is kind of neutral, just doesn't quite work. It looks a little bit off. I can make it warmer by putting it with some warm lipsticks or warm lip liners, but the more I put on, obviously the darker it goes, but also the cooler it goes as well. It's comfortable, I will give it that. It is a comfortable lipstick balm to use. What's good about this as well is that it retracts up and retracts down as well, but the consistency of this is a little bit hit and miss. There are times when I put it on and it goes a bit streaky, it goes clumpy, bits of it kind of like fall off and like cling to dry bits on my lips. I don't get a nice even application sometimes. Typically today I feel like this has applied all right, but I think it's definitely overhyped for what it is. I tend to use this now on sort of like no makeup days, or if I just need a quick bit of something on the lips. I won't really tend to incorporate this into a natural makeup look because I feel like it doesn't really kind of work for me. So it is a lot of money to be spending on a product for that particular purpose, and I do think that there are much better products out there if you're after this type of particular lip product. So I am trying to use this one up. I don't have much of it left. That is the good thing with this product, because it's a lip balm product, you can get away with reapplying it consistently throughout the day. So I don't actually have much of this left, but it's also a shame that I'm using this now to solely get it used up. Another worst product that I have tried this year that I don't currently have, I did actually declutter it, but I do want to mention it, is the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine. I bought mine in the shade, it's either Cheery or Cheeky, I can never remember which one it is, Cheery or Cheeky. It was a warm bright orange, and I bought that because I felt like I needed a bright warm orange for the summer months. However, when I bought it, it was a little bit too bright. Although it's warm and I suit warm makeup, I suit more muted warm colours. Bright colours like that are a little bit too overpowering on me. But also what I didn't like about it was the smell. It had a watermelon scent. I really do not like scented lip products. In my honest opinion, I think they're horrible. And I also think that watermelon is one of the worst scents you can put in a lip product. That and like cocoa or chocolate, gross. I don't want it. I don't like it. And I knew it had some watermelon in it before I bought it, so you know I didn't go into buying it, you know, completely ignorant. But it was so incredibly strong. It was really overpowering. There was way too much in it. If there was a little bit of a hint of it, it would have been fine. But the fact that I didn't like the colour and I didn't like the scent of it, one of the worst products for me that I have tried this year. Okay, let's remove this product so I can tell you about my best lip products. Firstly is this lip liner from House of Colour. So House of Colour is who I went to have my in-person colour analysis with, and you can buy makeup from them in your seasons. This is in the shade Maple. I don't have much of it left, and this is like my perfect everyday go-to lip colour. So firstly, the ease of use. This is a really lovely lip liner to work with. It's a pencil which can sometimes be a little bit drying. This one, not at all. This one glides onto the lips really lovely. I don't have to tug or pull. It just glides on really beautifully. And then the colour. It's really great with this top actually. This is a really beautiful warm brown, but it's got a little bit of like orange in there to kind of like ground it a little bit. I think it's just so beautiful. It's really versatile, works with a lot of my lip colours, and this is one, just going to blend it out a little bit, that I would definitely repurchase. It's like a holy grail lip shade for me. Just really beautiful colour, consistency, formulation, everything. It's just a pleasure to use, and I love the shade. I hope that they don't ever discontinue the shade. And then my two favourite lipsticks this year also come from House of Colour, and this is the great thing about knowing your season, because you can then get the makeup that is going to suit you from places like House of Colour. So there are two shades that I love more than others within my collection. I'm just swatching them on my hands here for you. They're both nude colours, so I love nude colours. I don't like to wear anything too bold or bright or kind of dramatic. So one on the top is Autumn Nude. This is my perfect everyday neutral warm base brown pink. Absolutely love that colour. I have gotten the most use out of that colour. Closely followed by the one below, which is in the shade Soft Amber, which is an orangey brown. Would go great with this top actually. Great for the autumn months, but obviously as an autumn a year-round shade, and they're just really beautiful colours. I feel like they suit me really well. They're really complementary on my skin tone, and again they're quite versatile. They can go with lots of other bits of makeup within my collection, so I get a lot of use out of these. And the formulation as well is really lovely. I'll be honest, not the best I've tried. I do obviously still prefer brands like Estee Lauder and MAC, but they are still pretty good. They do have a good amount of lasting power, staying power, and they're quite hydrating as well. So I will, actually, which one will I put on, because it depends on the other products that I want to try. Okay, I will put this one on, which is Autumn Nude, which is the brownie pink. One coat, really pigmented, smoothly went on, works really well with that lip liner as well. I'll just blot it and put on another layer. So that's how much of Autumn Nude I have left, and this is how much of Soft Amber I have left. So I think I could finish these off in 2024, because they are pretty much my go-to lip colours. I get a lot of use out of them, and I just think the colour is so beautiful. It's so nice when you find colours that really suit you. And before I had my colour season appointment in December last year, I was really struggling in particular with lipsticks. I felt like a lot of my lipstick collection just didn't suit me, and now I know the ones that do. So these two, once I've used them up, will be definitely repurchased products. And then the last items that I want to talk about are from Hourglass again. These are the volumizing glossy lip balms. I have used up one of these already in the shade Sense, which was a light warm nude pink colour. Loved it so much that I bought the duo in the shades Crave and Haze. So that one is Crave, and then underneath it is Haze. So Crave is a bit more of a brighter pink, whereas Haze is a bit more of like a burnished browny rosewood type of colour. Both really lovely. What I love about these is that they give you both colour and gloss, so it's like a lipstick and a lip gloss in one. Really hydrating. It looks so beautiful on the lips. With these though, don't twist it all the way up, because you cannot bring the product back down, so only twist up the amount that you need. The downside with this though is that they are very expensive and you don't get that much product. So the shade Sense that I had rather, because I used it up in the space of like 2 months. Yes, I did use it a lot because it was my go-to lip product, but it only took me 2 months to use up, so that clearly hasn't put me off buying any more. The shade that I want to try, Haze, I think. And there we go, it's as easy as that, and I think the final effect is just so beautiful. I really do love these Hourglass products. This and the cream bronzer from Revolution I think are my top 2 products that I have tried this year. They are definite repurchases, and I think the quality is just brilliant. And then this is the final look. So if you have tried any of the products that I've spoken about in today's video, please do let me know. And please do let me know about the best and worst products that you have tried this year. I'm always really keen to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you did like it, and I will see you again very soon for our next one. Bye.